Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. So let's begin here. So we have an article and it's titled Ripple to facilitate remittances from 19 European countries to Africa via its partner. Let's scroll down here, read this little tidbit. You see, this is the type of stuff that makes me love the bank coins, right? Understanding my ideas, because I had a comment in the comment section before. My ideas, my interest in the bank coins are in actual partnerships signed on the dotted line, or ones that have potential to become partnerships, right? But we can read about them. We can collect data on them. We have factual evidence that they're going to be used. That's my interest in the bank coins. Nothing else. That's it. I need to know about partnerships that actually exist, right? So this is the type of thing, or for instance, when we covered QNB Bank recently, that's a fact that they will be using RippleNet. Atajari Wafa, Morocco, that's another one. Atajari Wafa, Europe, right? What was the other one in two banks in Australia we recently covered? Combank and I think Australia National Bank. That's another two. So then also you get a list, right? You can get a list on Amazon Web Services of the banks that they know of, right? And they tell you on there that Ripple has already signed up over 100 financial institutions, over 100. And Amazon is telling you that. So that's the type of information that gets me excited about the bank coins. The banks, nothing else. Don't get me wrong. I know about a lot of different things, like even ISO, all that stuff like that. That's not what my ideas are hinged on. That's why we constantly are covering the banks. We look into the bank's financials. We look at factual data. That's what matters. What is that company actually doing? Ripple's doing a lot. Quant's doing a lot. Stellar apparently is doing a lot. They're doing a lot. Algorand's doing a lot. You saw the video yesterday. Algorand is now working with Italy, the Bank of Italy, and insurance companies for bank and insurance guarantees. That's factual. Though that's what my ideas are hinged on. Things like that. That's what my interest is hinged on. That's what makes me believe that price is going to go up. Nothing else. If anything else comes into play, it's just sprinkles on top. But is it necessary? As long as the banks sign on the dotted line and they're going to hand over that money, that's all that matters to me. That's what this channel is all about. The bank coins. That's facts. So now we're dealing with more facts. 19 European countries. That's why I'm in the bank coin family, where all the focus is, where all the research is, where there's factual evidence, where they're trying to grow, where the banks need them and governments need them, where the heads of those companies work. They work just as hard at the top as anybody that would be considered at the bottom. And that's why they bring in the victories. You have to control your mind. You have to control your emotions. You have to control your focus. Application of the will. That's the only thing you can be a master of, yourself. The greatest people to ever live have mastered themselves. The greatest thing to ever rule is to rule over yourself. So in doing that, we have to choose what is substantial to us and what is not. We don't have time for these distractions. We can choose. We have choice. We don't have to choose to engage with individuals who are, as the great Hermes Trismegistus. If you don't know that individual, look them up. The great Hermes Trismegistus once said, are downward minded. Just constantly negativity is oozing out of their pores. That doesn't make them tough. That doesn't make them intelligent. We're here for success. We're here to make money. We have a goal. Some of us are here to change the world. Let's focus on the goal. And all of that's here and there off the path of the light that we stand on, that's distractions. We don't need that. That's inconsequential to us. Words mean about as much as you give them. About as much attention as you give them. They can be substantial or they can be insubstantial. Depends on how much attention you want to give them. So we're going to focus on these partnerships. The banks that have been signing up, we continue to dominate. the new financial system is going forward. This is why you have everyone saying we are the new 1%. This is why the XRP army is so tight knit. This is why so many people want in to the XRP army. They hated it before. Got cold out there, didn't it? Yeah, it got real cold. Because you see those projects are falling by the wayside. And then you see individuals like the one that's going around and just every week that dude is, I'm not even going to mention his name. Every week that dude is just arguing with a different person. He's supposed to be running a blockchain. He's supposed to be the head of a company, but displays such ignorance. Just keep in mind, one can be brilliant in one way and ignorant in many others. And even though you have this little light, if your darkness is greater, that light won't matter. It'll be lost in the darkness, like a tiny little star in the darkness of space. It has light, but it will never be seen. In the Bankcoin family, we are shining brilliantly. So let's read this little article here. Ripple-enabled remittances would soon expand into Africa from 19 European countries via Nala, a Tanzanian fintech company, and agent of Modular, a Ripple partner. This is monumental. This is great. This is huge. This is definitely going to add to the rise in price. Look at, we've been dominating in every possible way. In February of 2022, payments platform Modular announced a partnership with Ripple to enable seamless payments in the UK and Europe. Together, the two fintechs intend to allow businesses to run real-time payments internationally, powered by Ripple's financial technology, RippleNet. We continue to talk about big events happening, big partnerships. Everything has been massive. Everything has been major. It's getting better and better over time. We were already doing great. It's getting better and better. I mean, I don't know what more to tell people. Like, you can't convince these fudders or negative entities or individuals who can't understand. What can you do but show them facts? And if they understand the facts that are at hand from documents from banks, central banks, private banks, commercial banks, if they don't believe something that literally is in front of them and has signatures on the dotted line, and they're openly talking about it, what else can you do? There's still individuals, who they say, well, this is not going to happen because you're looking at something that doesn't even matter. Forget, let's take ISO, for example, right? Because the comment in the comment section was about ISO. Put ISO to the side. Let's look at the partnerships. Let's look at the signatures. Let's look at who Amazon's saying is signed up. Look at who the Bank of International Settlements, or IMF, is working with. When the IMF on their own website tells you Ripple is on their advisory board. When the Faster Payments Council tells you that their head of the United States Faster Payments Council is a member of Ripple. The Digital Euro Association, Ripple. These are factual things. What more can you tell someone? There's nothing to defend. There's nothing to really clarify beyond that. It's powerful information that I believe, so maybe it's just too hard to believe for some people. It was the same way with the internet. When the internet came in, nobody believed the internet was going to be big. Now look. Now everything's done on the internet. Same thing's going to happen with the new financial system and Web3, only this is much bigger than the internet. New financial system, NFTs tokenizing everything, tokenization of everything. That debt tokenization is going to be major. Listen, they lost trillions of dollars. In the future, that won't be possible. It won't be because of the DLTs. There's individuals, entities that want to know where that money went. So in the future, they're going to ensure everything is tracked and traced. But if we're talking trillions, and what was it? I don't remember the number, but it was a lot of trillions. Imagine that possibly a modicum of it, because some people are going to say they'll never move all of it. Let's say a piece of it. Imagine a piece of that flowing across Ripple. XRP, XLM, Algo, choose your bank coin. What does it do to that price? What does it do to that price? This is logical. They're already moving in that direction, the tokenization of everything. That's why they've been expanding and testing NFTs so extensively. You think that they care about colorful monkeys? The bank coins. I'm talking about the bank coins, not that regular crypto. You think they care about colorful monkeys? That's just a test. They're letting the people, they're running the test without the people even knowing that this is a test. And the people don't care because they're making lots of money off those NFTs that they're moving right now. But that's not going to be the dominant NFTs of the future. No. Buying and selling of debt, move out the way and boom. It's going to be major. Buying and selling of debt. Tokenization of bonds and stocks. They've already begun. It's already begun. It is written. What does it do to that price? This is logical. I want to keep saying that. We're using logic here. No wishful thinking, all research, factual information. Everything's looking good. Let's continue on here. I'm keeping the energy low on purpose today. I'm gonna go lay down after this. Then we have this article here. This is from Stellar. You know Danelle Dixon is winning when she smiles like this. It says, doesn't get much more real than this. Stellar aid assist takes over at New York Times. Didn't they have a meeting and then there was like a panel maybe? And they had someone from the United Nations on that panel? Did I read that wrong? I could be wrong. It's early in the morning. Like when you see me do the members only posts, and if you haven't been seeing those community posts, go to my channel, scroll down, go over to the community section or members only section, and you'll see my post there. I've been making posts. I don't just make members only videos. I make mostly the posts there, okay? But you see how she's smiling there, right? It's because she understands that this is going to be huge. Why do I say that? I know a lot of people, they don't research deeply. Stellar aid assist. They're going to be aiding countries on receiving humanitarian aid. Every wallet must hold a minimum of lumens. Transaction fees are paid in lumens, XLM. They already have 10 humanitarian crises that they're watching out for in 2023. Some of them involve health crisis, like in Syria. Syria's having a health crisis right now. They don't have enough doctors or medical staff or hospitals. They have that. You have that battle that's going on over there. They're still counting that, right? You have various different crises that they're looking at in Africa. Okay. There's crises going on all over the place, not to mention those to come. If you type in 10 crises, global crises to look out for in 2023, you're going to see the articles. It pops right up. So they know this is going to be huge because they need it. They need that money to get to places quickly, efficiently, securely, and they don't need those intermediary fees. They're cutting out the middlemen, like Hedera said. They need that. This is going to be huge. And that's not even taking into account crises that they can't see coming. There's a lot of possibilities for that, especially as a lot of countries are trying to force farmers to cut down farming. That's obviously going to affect food, the amounts of food, right? And they're forcing them to cut down, trying to force them to cut down. That's why a lot of farmers around the world have been protesting. Did you hear about that? Be careful, might be coming to you very soon. They're forcing them to stop using certain nitrogen. I think nitrogen is like in some type of fertilizer or something that's widely used, something like that. That could lead to certain things. But then, on another note, did you hear what Bill Gates was saying multiple times? And he sits in a lot of meetings with a lot of high-level scientists and doctors. You know this. And he just constantly is talking about some kind of future redacted happening. He says it with certainty. Certainty. So let's just play the game and say they know something may be coming. Then there's that. Lots of humanitarian aid may be flowing around the world in the future. That's a whole lot of traffic if Stellar is going to be majorly involved in this. So Stellar already has a relationship with the United Nations. Here's 3 articles. United Nations tapped from CoinDesk. United Nations tapped Stellar blockchain for aid, right? Multiple articles. So they have a relationship with the United Nations already. UNHCR launches pilot cash-based intervention. UNHCR launches pilot cash-based intervention using blockchain technology for humanitarian payments to people displaced and impacted by such, This is released on December the 15th. UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, and the Stellar Foundation, the nonprofit that supports growth and development of Stellar blockchain, announced today the launch of a pilot first of its kind blockchain payment solution for digital cash distribution to internally displaced persons and other redacted affected people in redacted. There you have it. So they're going to be using Stellar for a lot of things. They're in bed with the United Nations. Put it all together. Stellar's in bed with the United Nations. They're beloved by the World Economic Forum. How do you believe they're going to lose? It's just the new financial system is not up and running yet. But you see it being built right in front of your eyes. Extra VOD voice. Guys, it's right in front of your eyes. It's right in front of your eyes. He's telling you the truth the whole time. He's telling you the truth. Let's go here. Then we have a little bit of light Algorand news from FIFA Plus Collect. New dropout today, curator collection, 80s and 90s. Fresh highlights featuring a colorful and spirited era that excited the world on and off the pitch. Own these electrifying highlights. So there you have it. So look, Algorand has built the platform for FIFA to move their NFTs, for FIFA to host their NFTs and mint their NFTs on. It's just a matter of time. You have to allow it to grow, allow it to take place. The only thing they took a step back on was the sponsorship. We could do that anytime. We could do that anytime. Better to do that when you have Algorand's name all over the place. Better to do that in a bull market. Sorry about that. In a better time in the economy. That's when you do that. Because then you can bring in more money. Right now, people are tight. They're tight with their money. And wisely so. Got to be careful what you do. So, but this is very good. I'm glad to see it continuing forward. I think it's going to grow into the future. When people have a little bit more money to spend on things like this, sure, they will. Right now, they don't. People are concerned with survival, putting bread in the refrigerator, paying this next bill. That's what they're concerned with, sending their children to college. That's what they're concerned with. They're not very concerned with buying NFTs right now. So when the world is doing better, maybe people will be willing to play with their money a little bit more. Until then, they're going to be very reserved, I think, in all possible ways. So now, let's move on from the Algorand news. U.S. soybean futures news. All right. U.S. soybean futures fall. Corn, wheat firm with focus on economy. All right, so Chicago Board of Trade soybean futures fell on Thursday on concerns that a firm dollar and a weakening global economy could slow the robust pace of exports that has supported prices since harvest, traders said. Wheat futures were strong on a round of bargain buying following declines in 8 of the 10 previous sessions and pulled corn higher. All right, so then we have this news here. Healthcare stocks. Sector update, healthcare stocks sink on Thursday Healthcare stocks finished mostly lower Thursday afternoon, with NYSE Healthcare Index and SPDR Healthcare Select Sector ETF both sinking around 1.8%. The iShares Biotechnology ETF also fell 1.8%. In company news, Titan Pharmaceuticals slid 7.7%. I'm deep in some medical stocks, but strategically so. They're long holds. I don't really worry about them a lot. I have them there just in case anything were to happen in the world. You know, those companies are known to step in, try to develop certain things. And hopefully if they are at the forefront and sign certain contracts, then that price will go up. Simple as that. But until then, they're just long holds. I just let them sit there. I'm not really worried about them too much, honestly. But this is going to happen. You know, everything is up and down. It's very volatile in all markets right now. A little natural gas news. U.S. natural gas futures rose 9% to above $7/MMBTU mark on Thursday, the highest in over 2 weeks, amid a bigger than expected draw from reserves and signs of strong foreign demand. Of course, I would think that that's logical because with so many sanctions and price caps being rejected outright, the U.S. is going to have to, I think, logically supply their allies. That's what I would think, that's where this is going, right? They will have to supply their allies to some degree because the allies are suffering because of backing what the United States, or rather the West, or I don't know how you phrase that, but pretty much the United States is at the head of that. So they're suffering because of their backing of United States policy, right? So United States in turn is going to have to provide them with a certain portion of reserves. So I think that's quite logical. U.S. utilities pulled 50 billion cubic feet of gas from storages during the week ending December 9th, more than market expectations for a 45 BCF reduction. Okay, let's continue on here. And let's end off with a little bit of gold news. I'm making this a short one today, guys. I got to go lay down. I'm a little bit under the weather, as you could probably tell from the last video and this one. But I don't feel satisfied in the day, honestly, unless I put a little bit of work in. I did keep myself from exercising today. So, hey, I got some rest in that way also. And then, like I said, I'm going to I'm going to lay down a little bit, drink some water. Got my vitamin D3 in, of course. Multivitamin, good solid multivitamin. A lot of other things and stuff such like that. So, you know, just going to rest up and yeah. So gold news. All right. Gold hits 1 week low as dollar strengthens on hawkish Fed. Gold prices retreated more than 1.5% on Thursday, falling to their lowest levels in a week as the dollar strengthened after the U.S. Federal Reserve signaled higher interest rates for a longer period. Of course, I told people this. I said look. They're going to have to go higher at some point in order to bring inflation down to where they said they want to bring it. So this was logical. Spot gold was down 1.7% at $1,775.74 per ounce. As of 13/21 GMT, U.S. gold futures fell 1.8% to $1,786.40. Quote, the tone was certainly very hawkish from the Fed. I told people it was going to be hawkish. I told people this. From the Fed in terms of the rate rise than some market participants expected. I expected it. No one wanted to listen. And that has definitely spooked gold because it's not really just about like now. It's more so about what's going to be happening in the future. I'm a big picture person. I think long term. They have to be hawkish long term. Says, quote, so again, we are seeing slightly exaggerated moves, but broad market theme is the dollar is up, interest rates are rising, and that's a headwind for gold. The Fed raised interest rates by 0.5 percentage point on Wednesday and projected at least an additional 75 basis points of hikes in borrowing costs by the end of 2023. They said at least. Following the statement, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the U.S. Central Bank will deliver more rate hikes next year, and it was soon to talk about cutting rates. It was too soon to talk about cutting rates. Gold is traditionally considered, okay, so all the rest of this, all the stuff we know, And they have a little bit more here. This is on financialpost.com. Make sure to check them out. They're doing a great job. And then actually, there's a lot more to this article. I thought that was it. But there's actually a lot more, but we will leave that. If you want to check that out, check them out at financialpost.com. It was a top article there, okay? So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.